What I'm about to do is indeed quite an interesting challenge. I'm actually going to install what's called a step board, or step treads as the Germans call them, which I got from these brackets with a motor on it, along with some reinforcement brackets. And it's going to work with this magnet. The idea is that when you open the sliding door, it will fold outwards. I have some electronics there, wires, LED lights, bolts, mooring cables, but I want to combine them with these. This is a running board that I have that can go on the side here, and I actually want that running board to go right under here, just a little bit. Theoretically, that should be possible, but it's definitely going to be a challenge to do it. So I'm going to get started on that now. These are the holders where you're specifically going to put the support in. You need to carefully and properly slide that securely into the existing pre-built structure of the bus. And then it's just a matter of positioning the threaded rods exactly above the holes that are already in the sides. Ensure the item is correctly positioned in the desired location. Once this is done, proceed to place the support structure carefully. Make sure the support is aligned properly and securely fastened. This step is crucial for stability and safety. It's actually quite a precise job because two big, heavy M8 bolts will go on there to secure the support. Once you've got it fastened at that point, you can move it forward. I put some tape on the bus to mark the right spots with a thick marker, just to indicate the points. Then, take the bracket off again and drill holes in the chassis. On the inside, there will be two 11mm holes for the bushings, and the holes on the bottom part from the outside are 7mm holes for smaller bolts. These are the bushings that you'll twist on with a special tool. You need quite a bit of force to close the tool because that clamps it around the metal. And then you essentially have a threaded rod in the bus. It's somewhat limited in strength. You can't tighten it too much or you'll break the bushing. It's just regular aluminum, but it's strong enough to hold such a support. It's somewhat limited in strength. You can't tighten it too much or you'll break the bushing. It's just regular aluminum, but it's strong enough to hold such a support. Once it's in place, it's just a matter of finding the right bolt points again. And then it's two big bolts on the top, two on the inside, and two on the outside. It's just regular aluminum, but it's strong enough to hold a support like that. Once it's in place, it's just a matter of finding the right bolt points again, and then it's two big bolts on the top, two on the inside, and two on the outside. And once that's properly secured, this step board can theoretically support approximately 350 kilos of weight in total. Well, I'm just not reaching that, so that's more than strong enough. That's securely and safely secured at the front, which is on the bracket side. It's also secured with two bolts. Then it's time to connect the electricity. There are two plugs on the motors, which are used for connecting the power supply. This one, those go to the two motors. Then a little light comes on here, but I'll only put that light in once the step is in place, so I can see where to stick it on, so I know where the chances of it shining are. The other side, this one, goes to this unit, and that unit will go in the driver's seat. Then there's also a switch that lets you override it. So for example, you say you want the sliding door to be open, but it stays closed. I want to keep it closed. There's a switch included, but I want to have a different switch. I want a switch in the dashboard. That has quite a few consequences. So what I'm going to do now is connect the cables, and then you're going to go up through this column under the seats. Then you carefully ascend through this structural pillar, moving under the seating area, and then proceed to enter inside the compartment. Additionally, a sophisticated magnetic lock mechanism will be installed to ensure security. Following this, the first component is inserted into the designated slot in the door, while the second component is positioned here within the B-pillar section. This process ensures that all parts are securely and correctly placed, maintaining the integrity and functionality of the system and there's already a pre-drilled hole where this will go in. So I'm going to install that now and then connect it. The wires come down inside here and they can go through the first seat. There's already a cable duct here, so they can go through that duct and the unit will be placed here. And I'm going to put switches in the dashboard here. I've already laid out a lot of wiring for that, and it's running underneath through the cable duct and comes in here, and I'm going to connect it to the unit. I've brought all the wiring here to the wood so I can easily secure all that wiring and stuff. And then it's just a matter of starting at the step board. So first securing everything at the step board and then going from there inside. And I'm going to put switches here in the dashboard. I've already laid out a lot of wiring for that, and it's running underneath through the cable duct and comes in here, and I'm going to connect it to the unit. I've brought all the wiring here to the wood so I can easily secure all that wiring and stuff. And then it's just a matter of starting at the step board. So first securing everything at the step board and then going from there inside. I still had to adjust something. They gave it a fixed length, but I wanted it all to be a bit longer, so I made some adjustments. And once the plugs are in and I've got the length right, you just secure them with tie wraps. I still had to do something. They gave it a fixed length. I wanted it all to be a bit longer, so I adjusted that a bit. And once the plugs are in and I've got the length right, you just secure them with tie wraps. There are holes in the supports, and there are plenty of points at the bottom of the van where you can really tidy up those cables nicely with tie wraps. Lights on. Just please make sure to double check which side you plug the connector into. We can only connect it one way, which is crucial. There's the switch unit with a fuse connected to the battery, okay? And then wiring goes underneath here, leading directly to this switch that I can use in order to override it if necessary. The step board works. Switch that I can definitely use to override it.
Ta-da!
The step board indeed works. Awesome. The bar that's still coming here hasn't worked out yet. That's where it hits. So I'm going to lower the step by about 2 centimeters. I'm currently having custom aluminum spacers specifically made for that. I'll show you that. They're in production, so that will come later. Next, what I'm going to do is mount the gas tank, the LPG tank, at the bottom of the van, at the back, and lay out the gas line. There's going to be an LPG tank under the fan for cooking, and I think I'm also going to use it for heating and to supply hot water. So that's for the next one. Until next time.